Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Hops. Today checking out another beer that I brought back from my trip to Gothenburg for MBG, GBG Beer Week. I was mixing it up with Mikla Beer Week. But I went there with the guys, it was fun, and I of course had some beer to bring back. And this is one of them. This is one I thought I should crack now instead of sitting on too much, instead like the stouts and whatnot, they can last. But this is an ESB. I got this one from Johan, not when I talk about like the ever so awesome Johan from Sweden, I've talked about a few times. There's two Johans. That Johan, he's also actually supplied me with beer from that trip, and I got to meet up with him. But this is from Johan Norling. You might know him in the beer scene. If you've been to festivals and whatnot, he goes a lot. He usually volunteers with Odd Island Brewing. Very cool dude, met him a few times, fellow metalhead. And he was like, hey man, I got a beer I want you to check out and bring home. It's from where he's from, and it's from none other than Närke. Närke Kulturbryggeri is quite a famous old school Swedish brewery. They were hyped back in the day for their Stormaktsporter, which I got to try and review. And actually, the other Johan has got a bottle of the cognac version for me, which is amazing. I can't wait to try that. Now, of course, I'm going to share that with Dad because I shared the regular with Dad as well. But this one is the Närke Örebro Bitter. So this is Närke's ESB. It's a 5.9% ESB made with Eastern Golding hops and Cascade. They don't talk about the malt combo, but I guess it's something like traditional British malt, maybe Maris Otter, some nice crystal malts from something like Thomas Fawcett. Who knows? Probably British malts, I'd imagine, like all British beer, right? But Närke does a lot of traditional beers, and they're a brewery that do them really, really well. I've never had this one. But ESBs used to be my favorite style before I discovered the IPA, especially the American IPA that became my favorite, and then Imperial Stout. Well, I think it was ESB for a while, then Imperial Stout, then American IPA, and I guess now it's more Imperial Stout. Sometimes IPA, and then you have a lot of juice bombs, and then you're like, yeah, I've had enough. I never seem to have enough of great Imperial Stout. But this is a style I really enjoy. If you know the ESB, it's a stronger version of the British bitter, quite famous pub beer that's served in England. It's got more bitterness, more maltiness. It's not like nothing crazy, but yeah, it's a style I used to adore and love a lot, and I still think it's nice. It's not too often I drink it anymore, but when I was getting into craft beer, for me, it was the British beers. A lot of people is German, a lot of people is Belgium, but for me, it was Britain all the way. Love the bitters, love the ESBs, the golden ales, all that stuff. So this bitter here is at 5.9%. Actually poured like it was a bit overcarbed. It looks like it settled down in the glass right now, but when I poured it out, the first pour was just like pure foam, and I didn't even pour that aggressively, so I don't know if it's overcarbed. It looked a bit lively coming out of the bottle as well. Let's leave the rest in there because this is unfiltered and unpasteurized, but it looks quite nice in the glass. It's a nice unfiltered brown, slightly muddy brown, muddy copper color, rust orange. Nice beige head on there. Let's check out the aroma on the Örebro Bitter by Närke. Yeah, it smells very old school, very traditional, but very well made. Very marmalade-y hop character is what you get. I guess that's the Eastern Golding hops in there. It's this like marmalade-y, orange marmalade quality. With, yeah, like toasted bread with orange marmalade. And kind of like maybe not rye bread, but like a darker bread with that's been toasted with marmalade. I'm getting loads of those qualities. Super traditional smelling, super old school smelling. Actually smelling really nice. Hint of butterscotchy toffee notes. Not really diacetyl. It's even got a slight floral vibe, which I think can come from Cascade. And Cascade can also give off that slightly marmalade-y hop character, especially when you use them hot side. The hops. But yeah, doughy breadiness, a soft hint of like ripe fruit yeast ester, like paired with the malt is like dark, almost dark fruity, or maybe more berry-like, but it smells quite nice. Smells like a very nice traditional ESB. Let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers, and thanks to Johan for the beer. So it's definitely overcarved for the style. It's really fizzy. It's like Belgian beer fizzy. Usually ESBs, bitters, whatnot, they're very lightly, softly carbonated, medium carbonation, but the most traditional way of getting it is of course on cask, where the carbonation is almost non-existent. So this for me is Like the British beers, they should not have this like super vigorous carbonation. But I think maybe this is just the bottle. The thing is, the longer you sit on this, the more carbonation you're going to get. Because I think it's bottle conditioned too. It doesn't say, it's just unfiltered and unpasteurized, so you're going to get some yeast in there. I mean, I can see some in the bottom of the bottle, so I don't know how fresh it is, but if this sits for a while, if it didn't ferment out completely, what sugar is left in there, the yeast is going to eat up. It's going to produce a secondary fermentation in the bottle, giving you a little bit more carbonation, and maybe also some more esters and whatnot. It's a lot of British brewers like swear to doing the bottle conditioning. I remember a real ale guy talking about that all the time back in the day. I'm just throwing the glass around a bit just to shake out some of that excess carbonation because I think it's a bit of a shame. It's almost like, as I said, Belgian. It ruins it just a little bit for me, but otherwise the flavors are dead on. You get this grassy, nestle hop flavor, hedgerow like. The orange marmalade really plays in. Very classic English tasting. Orange marmalade. There's maybe hints of grapefruit, which can come from the Cascade and floral vibes. Very nice toasted bready notes, nutty notes even. Yeah, just super bready. And then the esters are not crazy big, but it's actually quite clean tasting. But there is the slightest hint of like a ripe, almost like dark fruit or berry ester. But it's quite nice. I would love to try this with less carbonation. Because I think with less carbonation, I really dig it, to be honest. Man, this makes me want to drink more ASPs. I remember drinking the Lord Nelson from Three Floyds back in the day and loving that. It's an American ESB, and I remember that was one of the first like American beers for me that was a must try. It's like an ESB with Nelson hops, but this is nice. If it wasn't for the excessive carbonation, I'd go straight 90, but it's a bit too gassy for me. It's not as pleasant to drink. So I'm going to go like an 88. I think it's still very nice classic style, very nice well-brewed classic style, no flaws or anything. That butterscotch thing was mostly on the aroma, but hey, worth a shot for sure. I'd imagine if I lived in Sweden and I could get this would be a nice go-to beer. So if you guys had the Närke Kulturbryggeri Örebro Bitter, let me know what you thought of it. Very nice traditional beer. It's fun to revisit stuff like this and not only all the pastry and stuff like that once in a while. But if you had it, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton to Johan for the beer, dude. Awesome to see you in Copenhagen and Gothenburg. See you, I guess, also this year in Aalborg for Bad Seed Beer Fest. Check that out, by the way, guys. Bad Seed Beer Fest in Aalborg. It's going to be epic. So, yeah, guys, as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, Twitter, and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I almost say cheers, and see you guys in another beer review.